My fiancée is a graduate student and always says that research is exhausting. She only sees me once every 1 or 2 weeks, and we were only intimate once every 2 or 3 months. I sympathized with her, working overtime to support her PhD studies. That was until one day, while I was on a business trip, I saw a video of her in a group chat for car enthusiasts. The video title was "A Woman Who Likes to Play with Contrasts, Big Cravings." I was stunned. In the video, my fiancé was telling the man to blur her face, but he was filming her face from above. The video was only 20 seconds long. Looking at my fiancé's flushed face, I was completely stunned. I couldn't believe it was real, yet I had to believe it. In the video, on the familiar nightstand, there was a photo of me and my fiancé, though my face was obscured by the angle. My fiancé was cheating. In the house I bought for our marriage, on the bed I bought for our marriage. Once I came to my senses, I immediately recorded the video and saved the information from the group chat. Just after I finished, the video was deleted. In the days that followed, I muddled through until my business trip ended. This time, I didn't tell her I was coming back in advance. After returning to Chicago, I went straight to the house and dug out the hidden cameras I had placed in the bedroom during the renovation. I had heard that contractors might cut corners, so I installed a few. Ironically, the contractors were honest, but my fiancé was not. The cameras I bought had a feature that kept recording even if the power was cut, so it captured the whole thing. It was more than enough. 40 minutes. For 40 minutes, my fiancé, who usually complained of being tired and wouldn't move an inch for me, was full of energy and tried every trick in the book. This is the house my fiancé bought for us. We rarely come here. You're the first man to come here. The man laughed. Am I your first man? I guess one person can't satisfy your cravings. You're so annoying. I said you're the first man to come here. You're really bold. Your fiancé is watching you from that photo. Doesn't that make it more thrilling? I don't love him at all, but his family has money, and he's willing to spend it on me, so I keep him around. You're the only one I love. My anger ignited instantly. So she never loved me. I was just one of her games, a prop for her thrills. This bitch. I don't know how many times she's cheated on me. At the end of the video, I heard my fiancé say, "Professor, let's rest for a while and go again." Professor? I didn't really know much about my fiancé's social circle. I'm usually very busy, traveling for work, working overtime, making money. But she always seemed even busier than me. Every time I finally had a break and asked her out, she was always in a rush. She told me she wanted to publish more research, get her PhD, and make more money to support me in the future. I believed her and was deeply moved. I even blamed myself for not working hard enough, thinking I was the one making her life difficult. I never realized she didn't love me at all. She only stayed with me because I was willing to spend money on her. It seems I was just a tool for her, kept around when useful and discarded when not. I sat in the room, staring blankly at everything around me. Because my fiancé didn't want a pre-owned home, I bought a new one, paying in full. Because my fiancé didn't like the developer's decor, I paid for a complete renovation. Because my fiancé wanted a sense of security, I agreed to add her name to the property deed. Because I love her so deeply, I agreed to all of her conditions, one by one. I never expected that not only did she not love me, but she also brought other men into our home. This home I had painstakingly prepared for her happiness. Suddenly, I felt disgusted by everything in the house. I picked up our photo, shouting at her in the picture, "Ava Miller, why are you doing this to me?" What? The more I shouted, the crazier I became, with countless murderous thoughts flashing through my mind. Looking at her cold face in the photo and recalling her appearance in the video, my desire to kill grew stronger. I wanted to skin them alive, dismember them, and scatter their ashes. I felt that way right up until I threw the photo down and rushed out of the room. The cold wind outside suddenly cleared my head. It wasn't worth throwing my life away for someone like her. I wanted revenge on her, not to kill her. I captured a screenshot of the man's face, which was accidentally revealed in the video, and then searched on my fiancé's university website. After a few hours, I found him. It turns out this man wasn't just a professor at the university, but also a member of the school's basketball association. On the website, there was a group photo from an awards ceremony that included this man and my fiancée. It seems my fiancée wasn't just focused on her studies. If it weren't for this photo, I would have never known she even played basketball. I took a screenshot of the man's award photo and posted it on the university forum. Wow, this professor is so handsome. Does anyone know which department he's in? Within half a day, I found out the man's name was Ken Thompson, a professor in the foreign languages department, and he was married. Below the post, many people commented, "Freshman having a crush on him is a recipe for disaster. You'll have to get in line, and you'll still get your heart broken." As more comments poured in, I gradually learned more about Ken Thompson. It turns out Ken Thompson was a big name on campus. He was great at basketball and had led the school team to many victories. A lot of female students were infatuated with him. This scumbag pretended to be a respectable professor, but in reality, he took on all comers. He used the guise of romance to mess around with countless female students. I registered a new account pretending to be a female student he had deceived and accused him of secretly filming them. The post went viral almost immediately. Countless replies followed, with everyone eagerly consuming the drama. Gradually, other victims came forward, accusing Ken Thompson of being a master of time management, seamlessly juggling girlfriends, and then denying everything after he was done with them. Some enthusiastic people even edited the posts into a video and shared it on social media. For a while, the online discussion was intense, and Ken Thompson's personal information was completely exposed. When he found out, he nearly went crazy. He sent a private message to my account. "Who the hell are you? What do you want? I'll sue you for defamation." I laughed. "A woman who likes to play with contrasts. You piece of trash." "Ava, is that you? You saw it. Where did you see it? You bastard. I told you to blur my face, and you didn't, you scum." After cursing him out, I deleted the account. Now that everyone was spreading the story, I didn't need to add any more fuel to the fire. "Ken Thompson, you want to sue me? I'll just let you and my cheating fiancé go at each other's throats." The next day, I called my fiancée. I told her I was back, that I missed her, and asked her out to dinner. On the phone, her tone was irritated, and she kept brushing me off. "I've been so busy lately. I'm exhausted. Let's do it another day." I guess Ken Thompson must have been giving her trouble, but that just made me want to see her in person even more to get a feel for the situation. I had no choice but to play my trump card. "Babe, my dad said the money from the eminent domain buyout of our old family property just came through. He wants me to talk to you about how we should spend it." The tactic worked like a charm. Ava's tone brightened instantly. "The money finally came through? We should definitely celebrate. Let's have dinner at that new upscale fusion place downtown tonight." This woman was ruthless. That place costs over $3,000 a person. The buyout was real. Years ago, my parents bought a piece of land in our state capital to build a factory. As the city expanded, the suburban factory became part of a new urban development zone. Although our factory was included in the redevelopment plan years ago, the compensation was delayed until now. It totaled $34 million. Ava knew all about this. When the payment was delayed, she had asked me about it indirectly several times. She probably only agreed to marry me because of this money. That evening, I met my fiancée. Usually, she showed up with no makeup and dressed simply. This time, she was wearing heavy makeup and was dressed to the nines. She looked more beautiful than ever, but I just found her repulsive. Looking closely, I could see a faint bruise on her cheekbone. Ken Thompson had hit her. I feigned enthusiasm and rushed over, deliberately squeezing her cheeks hard with both hands. "Babe, I missed you so much. You look so beautiful." She grimaced in pain and quickly pried my hand away. "Ouch, you're messing up my makeup." "How can I mess up your makeup?" I deliberately pinched her face a few more times. She hissed in pain, and I felt a dark sense of satisfaction. Foundation could cover the bruise, but it couldn't hide the pain. I guessed Ava had been slapped by Ken Thompson at least twice. "How much was the buyout? How much will your dad give you?" My fiancé asked, getting straight to the point. "My dad didn't tell me the exact amount, but he said they'd make sure you were satisfied with everything. You know how much my parents adore you as their daughter-in-law," I said, painting a grand picture for her. You have to make my parents happy too, or they won't feel right about me marrying you. And don't forget my sister. Don't worry. I'll make sure your whole family is satisfied. Go back and talk it over with them. See what they want, I said, patting my chest and making grand promises. You're the best, honey. I stared at my fiancée's delicate face, growing more furious the longer I looked. But I kept flattering her. Babe, didn't you say you wanted to start your own business? Now I have the money to support you. Starting a business is expensive. You have to be prepared for that. Don't be cheap. How can you say that? In all these years, when have I ever been cheap with you? I put on a hurt expression. Okay, my bad. Don't go back to your dorm tonight. I'll make it up to you, she said, smiling sweetly to soothe me. God, that's disgusting. I didn't want to touch her at all. I feigned regret. Really? I just got a message from my boss. I have to work overtime tonight. You work so hard. Why don't you just quit? I still want to use my salary to buy you purses. Okay then. Finish your dinner and head back to the office early. When you get paid, remember to take me shopping. Bitch, even now, all you can think about is my money. I put on a fake smile and continued to promise her the world. Don't worry, you can spend my whole paycheck this month. As soon as she got home, Ava sent me a list. Her dad wanted Mercedes SUV, her mom wanted a set of J jewelry, and her sister wanted designer bags. She also said she wanted to marry me as soon as possible and asked how much I could give for a dowry. Damn it, I estimated that, not including the dowry, these things alone would cost at least $1 million. This family really took me for a fool. While dealing with her, I reported Ken Thompson. By this time, the story about him had spread from the university forum to all of social media. Netizens had escalated from criticizing his lack of morals to condemning the entire university. I collected all the online posts about Ken Thompson, organized the victims' timelines and related evidence, and made a detailed chart. I sent one copy of this chart to the university's official email address and posted another one online. Additionally, I summarized the university's various issues and sent them to the Board of Education. I got a new phone number and called the mayor's hotline to complain that the university had lax academic standards, condoned professors who deceived and secretly filmed female students, and allowed the videos to be spread. I also told them that detailed information had been sent to the Board of Education's email. Soon, both the mayor's hotline and the Board of Education replied, saying they would thoroughly investigate the matter. That was that. With public opinion raging online and official reports filed offline, Ken Thompson was suspended. I had someone keeping an eye on him. As soon as I got the news, I quickly took a cab to the university. The timing was perfect. I saw him just as he was leaving campus. Ken Thompson was driving out of the main gate when the person I had arranged intercepted him. A young guy, pretending to be a college student, rode a bicycle straight into Ken's car. Ken, already in a bad mood, got out of his car and yelled, "Are you blind? You hit my car. Can you even afford to pay for that?" The young guy was full of fire and didn't back down, and the two of them started screaming at each other. Seeing the crowd of students growing, I hid in the back and shouted, "Hey, isn't that the professor who sleeps with his students? He's so arrogant." The students immediately erupted. "Holy crap, it's him. That scumbag. Wasn't he suspended?" The young guy seized the opportunity and shouted, "Yeah, that's him. He slept with my classmate and won't admit it. And now he's trying to get the administration to cover for him so he can skip town." The crowd of students boiled over, all of them criticizing and cursing Ken Thompson, who defiantly yelled back. Then someone shouted, "Get him!" and the young guy rushed forward. Ken Thompson was a big guy and punched the young man in the chest. The guy fell to the ground and screamed, "The pervert professor is hitting me." The students were enraged and swarmed him. College kids full of energy didn't hold back. Ken Thompson was strong and athletic, and he fought back for a moment, but he was soon kicked in the knees and collapsed to the ground. Before long, he was beaten black and blue and couldn't stop himself from begging loudly, "I was wrong. Please stop hitting me." Wearing a mask, I ran up and kicked him in the face, shutting him up. "Damn right. That's for sleeping in my bed." Campus security, afraid someone might get killed, hurried over. "We've called the police. Stop hitting him." The students and I scattered. All that was left was Ken Thompson lying on the ground, groaning. He was curled up with his hands over his head, covered in footprints, looking utterly pathetic. The security guards helped him up and asked if he wanted to call the police. Ken Thompson shook his head painfully and struggled back to his car. With all his own dirty secrets, he wouldn't dare call the police. That night, I received a message from Ava. She said her parents wanted to come to town to discuss our wedding. They wanted to lock me down as soon as possible. "Don't worry," I replied. "I'll make sure your parents are completely satisfied with our wedding plans." But my parents are traveling abroad, so they can't meet them in person. My parents really had gone abroad for a vacation. They had worked hard their whole lives and deserved to enjoy themselves. "That's okay. My parents said they'll come to Chicago first just to see you." "All right," I readily agreed. "I have to go on a business trip tomorrow, but I'll be back the day after. You get your parents settled in, and I'll entertain them properly when I return." After sending the message, I felt a mix of emotions. Ava and I didn't go to the same university. I met her during an intercollegiate event in my freshman year. Back then, Ava was beautiful, aloof, and brilliant. She was the first love of many guys who saw her. I fell in love with her at first sight and tried every way I could think of to win her over for 3 years. But she always remained indifferent. Before graduation, on Ava's birthday, I decided to seize one last chance and planned an elaborate ceremony to confess my feelings. My parents had always been supportive, especially since Ava had that star student aura about her. They helped me rent out a manor in the suburbs and invited friends from both our circles. I even spent tens of thousands of dollars to rent a helicopter. I descended from the sky with a bouquet of flowers and a diamond necklace, walking toward Ava with all the love in my heart. As she stared in shock and astonishment, I got down on one knee and sincerely confessed my love to her. I was already prepared for failure. I figured if it didn't work out, this ceremony would be my farewell to my youth. But unexpectedly, she agreed. Amid the cheers of our friends, I personally put the diamond necklace on her. For the first time, she gave me a shy smile and hugged me. "Actually," she said, "I've had a crush on you for a long time." At that moment, I felt like the happiest person in the world. Looking back now, I was such a fool. If she really liked me, how could she have been so cold for 3 years? The only reason she agreed was because I threw so much money at her. If I hadn't flaunted my wealth at that birthday party, she never would have become my girlfriend. I was too young to see the true nature of a gold digger. After we graduated from college, she got into a graduate program in Chicago. For her, I gave up on going home to join the family business and found a job in Chicago instead. That was when I took her home to meet my parents. As their only son, my parents doted on me and never objected to my relationships. Seeing that Ava was beautiful, well-mannered, and highly educated, they were very pleased. Then, Ava took me to her hometown, a small town up in Wisconsin. Her parents were also very satisfied when they saw the car full of gifts I brought. Later, our parents met and we got engaged. All of her expenses for graduate school naturally fell on me. My parents loved their son, and our family was well off. Plus, Ava knew how to act sweet and obedient in front of them. They never hesitated to spend money on their future daughter-in-law. Otherwise, there's no way I could have afforded a house in Chicago on my salary alone. Unfortunately, I let my parents down. The daughter-in-law I found for them turned out to be a disaster. Looking back now, the warning signs were everywhere. I was just blinded by love. Thinking about it, the hatred in my heart grew stronger and stronger. "Ava, you could have just rejected me. But for using me and deceiving me, I will never forgive you." To continue with my plan for revenge, I patiently entertained her family. I didn't buy a single thing on Ava's list. I used the excuse that there wasn't enough time and that we would include everything with the dowry for the wedding. She probably didn't want to push me too hard, so she didn't say much. After a few glasses of expensive whiskey, Ava's dad got tipsy and pointed at me, saying, "James, we're very happy you feel this way. My daughter has been cherished her whole life. She's never had to suffer. And she's so ambitious, a graduate student from a prestigious university. If you marry her, your future children will be able to go to prestigious universities too." I nodded repeatedly, my words carrying a double meaning. "You're absolutely right, sir. Ava is indeed smart and ambitious. You wouldn't think she was so capable just by looking at her. Let me raise another glass to you. Her mom then said, since we haven't met your parents, I don't know what your family is thinking. I know it's the modern era, but the dowry is still a matter of saving face. James, are you the one who can make the decision on this? No problem. My parents said the family money will be mine sooner or later anyway. For something as big as a wedding, I get to call the shots. Taking advantage of the alcohol, I prepared to paint an even grander picture for them. Her mom continued, my daughter is so beautiful and accomplished, and she's going to be a PhD from a prestigious university. She's not your average daughter-in-law, don't you think? Her dad and I worked so hard to raise her all these years. It's really hard to let her go all of a sudden. You understand, right? Ma'am, say no more. I understand completely. My family is prepared to offer a $1 million dowry. Ma'am, what do you think of that? The dinner table fell silent. My fiancée's entire family stared at me. Her dad was so excited he spilled his drink. How much? Both of her parents were just regular workers. Ava once told me their entire life savings was only about $300,000. $1 million was an astronomical figure to them. A $1 million dowry. Sir, that should certainly give you some bragging rights back home, right? I said firmly. Her dad's eyes lit up instantly. It will. It definitely will. Ava obviously hadn't expected me to be so generous. Her eyes were glowing as she grabbed my hand. Honey, are you sure you're not drunk? That's so much money. Will your parents agree to it? I subtly pulled away from her touch and waved my hand grandly. Don't worry, my parents' money is my money. I chased you for so many years just to make you happy. They bought an $8 million house. You think they'll care about this dowry? Ava's smile was so wide it nearly reached her ears. I knew you were a man with real potential. Honey, you're the best. Dad, Mom, didn't I pick the right one? Yes. Her parents nodded quickly. We knew from the first moment we saw him. James is a good kid, very reliable. Brother-in-law, what about my bag? Her sister interjected. Don't worry, your brother-in-law will buy it for you. I'll take you to pick one out later. Making promises doesn't cost a thing. Thank you, brother-in-law, her sister said sweetly. Looking at this happy family, I sneered inwardly. I'm putting you on a pedestal now, but let's see if you're still laughing when I bring you crashing down. You're not getting any younger either. Look at your sister. You need to find a capable husband like your brother-in-law. I heard her parents whisper to her sister. Her sister glanced at Ava with unconcealed jealousy. Ava leaned in and whispered in my ear, Honey, let's sleep in our new house tonight. Looking at her flushed face, I suddenly felt disgusted. I didn't want to refuse directly, so I smiled and agreed. Later, I deliberately challenged her dad to a drinking contest until we were both throwing up. At her mother's direction, Ava came over to help me. But, just as I expected, she threw me into the hotel room with a look of disgust and left. I was woken up by a call from the hotel. I groggily picked up the phone, and Eva's crisp voice came through. Brother-in-law, are you up yet? When are you taking me to buy that bag? I woke up instantly, and an idea came to me. Just a minute. I'll wash up, and then I'll take you. Okay, I'll come over to your room. A few moments later, there was a knock on my door. As soon as I opened the door, Eva, with an innocent look on her face, threw herself into my arms. Brother-in-law. She had dressed up for the occasion, wearing a tight, short camisole dress that highlighted her curves and made her long, pale legs stand out. Before I could push her away, she linked her arm through mine with a naive look. Brother-in-law, did you just wake up? Should I get you some breakfast? Or should we eat together later? I knew exactly why she was being so attentive. The Miller family really produces the same kind of trash, one generation after another. Each daughter more shameless and money-grubbing than the last. Eva was 3 years younger than Ava and was also very pretty, but she wasn't much of a student. She graduated from a community college and worked as a cashier back in their hometown. But when it came to sweet-talking, she was way better than Ava. As I was getting ready, she chattered away next to me. Brother-in-law, it's so annoying. Last night my parents kept comparing me to my sister. I just broke up, and now my sister is getting married to you, and you're so rich. How am I ever going to find a boyfriend? Brother-in-law, can you introduce me to someone? I might not be as educated as my sister, but I think I'm prettier, right? Brother-in-law, Who's prettier, me or my sister? Hearing her ask that, I turned around. You're much more lively than your sister. You're bright and cute. Eva giggled, exuding youthful energy. When did your sister leave? I asked, already knowing the answer. She left right after she dropped you off at the hotel. Brother-in-law, you're really heavy. It took a lot of effort to get you into bed. Well, then I should thank you. I intentionally patted her on the head and then posted on my Facebook, thanks to my future sister-in-law Eva for taking care of me. Taking her to buy a bag, now to say thanks. I took her to shops on Michigan Avenue. As soon as we entered the mall, Eva's eyes lit up. She started taking a frenzy of photos with her phone in front of the luxury stores. Noticing people staring at her, she quickly ran back to my side, linking her arm in mine and pressing her body close to me. I have to admit, shopping with a pretty young woman felt pretty good. Eva browsed the stores enthusiastically while I checked my phone. As expected, Eva had commented on my post. Where are you guys? She couldn't hold it in. I smiled and ignored her. I refreshed the page and saw that Eva had posted a 9-photo collage. The caption read, shopping with the best brother-in-law in the world. He's more charming than the purses. She added a string of little heart emojis at the end. The photos included shots of the stores, selfies, and a picture of her linking arms with me, with the location tagged. Eva was quick. She had taken so many photos in such a short time. She was a real asset. A moment later, Eva's call came through. What are you doing with my sister? What else? Buying her a bag. You're buying her a bag right now? Did the money from your dad come through? No, but I still have my salary. She was begging me, and I figured since I have to buy it eventually anyway, I might as well take her shopping now. Didn't you promise that you'd use your salary to buy me a bag? Ava's voice suddenly became sharp. How can you spend that money on her? Didn't you tell me not to forget your sister? I enjoyed watching her get angry. I've already bought you so many purses. What's wrong with letting Eva have this one? This completely enraged Eva, and she began to scream hysterically. Why should I let her have it? James, are you putting her before me? Are you into her now? You get back here right now. Before I could respond, Eva suddenly snatched the phone from me and said softly, Brother-in-law, let me explain to my sister. I was happy to watch the drama unfold, so I didn't stop her. Sure enough, Eva started her manipulative speech. Sis, why are you always getting mad at brother-in-law for no reason? He works so hard all the time. We're going to be a family soon. If you don't care about brother-in-law, She glanced at me shyly. Well, Mom and Dad and I care about him. Eva was clearly furious. I could hear her shrill voice clearly. Eva, have you no shame? Do you want everything I have? You just wait. Eva said sweetly, Sis, don't be so angry. Getting angry gives you wrinkles. Don't worry. I'll take good care of brother-in-law for you. After saying that, Eva hung up the phone, ignoring Ava's furious shouts. The drama between these two sisters was quite a show. Brother-in-law, don't be angry. My sister has a terrible temper. She's been like that since we were kids. She'll turn on you in an instant. My mom always says she's two-faced. Eva grabbed my hand. Brother-in-law, don't be mad. Let me buy you a coffee to help you cool down. In the coffee shop, I sat shoulder to shoulder with Eva. We're going to be family soon. Shouldn't I be nice to you? I asked, feigning confusion. Does your sister really need to get that angry? The tactic worked perfectly. Eva fumed. My sister has never liked me, brother-in-law. It's not my place to say, but you've spoiled her too much. You've indulged her so much that she's developed some terrible habits. I agreed with her. I used to love Eva so much that I lost myself, which gave her the opportunity to humiliate me like this. Now I'm going to make her pay it all back, tenfold, 100-fold. I stared at Eva's face for a long time, until her cheeks turned red. Then I sighed. If only your sister were half as understanding as you are. My sister has high aspirations and a strong career drive. Not like me. I just want to find a good husband and live a quiet, happy life. I lowered my head thoughtfully and sighed softly. What a pity. But your sister and I have been together for so many years. Oh, brother-in-law. Eva leaned in gently. Actually, you don't have to be so responsible for my sister. Maybe there's a better choice. If, before she could finish her sentence, she screamed. Someone had grabbed her by the hair and yanked her aside. Ava had arrived. With 2 crisp slaps, Ava struck her twice. "How dare you hit me?" Eva screamed, clawing wildly at Ava's face. Unfortunately, she didn't have the height advantage and could only bite down hard on Ava's shoulder. The 2 sisters started fighting fiercely. I watched from the side, amazed. These sisters were ruthless, and every move was meant to cause serious harm. Eva finally broke free from her sister's hold and kicked Ava hard in the stomach. Ava doubled over in pain, giving Eva the opportunity to grab her hair and throw her to the ground. She then straddled her sister and slapped her face repeatedly. I made a half-hearted attempt to intervene. Noticing people around us taking out their phones to record, I quickly put on a mask and left the coffee shop. I didn't want to end up going viral with these 2 lunatics. Standing outside, I watched them tear each other apart. I quietly took out my phone and deleted the Facebook post with the coffee shop's location. Then, I took a cab back to the hotel. Back at the hotel, I received a call from Ava. She demanded, "Why did you just leave?" I couldn't be bothered with her. "Why do you think?" "Because you're an embarrassment." With that, I hung up and ignored her. A few moments later, I heard her and her sister screaming at each other in the hallway, along with her parents' scolding voices. The real show was about to begin. There was a loud knocking on my door, followed by my future father-in-law's voice. "James, you come out here." I opened the door, and the entire family barged in. Her dad, seething with anger, asked, "James, what's going on?" I was even more furious than he was. "What's going on? See for yourself." I showed him the video that was trending locally, a video of Ava and Eva fighting. Money buys trending topics fast. In the video, Ava was hitting Eva while screaming, "You shameless bitch. You've been stealing my things since we were kids." Next to me, Eva burst into tears. Ava's face turned pale. I pointed at her and yelled. She was like a mad woman today. I was just taking her sister shopping, and she came over hitting and cursing. She might not care about her reputation, but I care about mine. I can't afford this kind of embarrassment. You promised you'd use your salary to buy me a bag. And why were you so close to Eva? Ava retorted angrily. I stared at her in shock. What are you implying? Are you suggesting I was taking advantage of her? She's your own sister. She's just a kid. Yeah, we're about to be family. Do we need to stay 10 feet apart when we walk together? If you're going to be this paranoid all the time, how are we supposed to live after we get married? I added, playing along. Am I supposed to go crazy with you every single day? I made a show of turning to leave. This wedding is off. I'm calling my dad right now to tell him to cancel that $1 million transfer. I picked up my phone. Hearing this, all 4 of them panicked. James, don't be rash, my future mother-in-law said, quickly trying to stop me. You too. Help me calm James down. Eva rushed over and grabbed my hand. Brother-in-law, don't. Her dad also chimed in. Let's just talk it out. We're all family. Arguments are normal. Don't be so hasty. I had never lost my temper with Ava before, so she was completely stunned, staring at me in disbelief. I pointed at Ava and said to her parents, Look at your wonderful daughter, still acting like nothing happened. Sir, a man has to have his dignity. I can marry anyone I want. What good is her education if she can't even speak like a decent human being? Unlike Eva. Eva's eyes lit up. Ava finally understood what was happening and hurriedly pushed her parents and sister out the door. All of you get out. We'll handle our own problems. Outside, Eva called out, James. Her parents said loudly, Talk it over. You're all going to be family. As soon as they were gone, Ava came over to me, crying. Honey, what's wrong? What's wrong? I've woken up. Ava, do you really think I have no other choice but to marry you? I said coldly. James, have a car, a house, and savings. I won't have any trouble finding women. That remark completely sobered Ava up. She clung to me. I'm sorry, honey, I was wrong. I shouldn't have embarrassed you. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Ava cried pitifully, tears streaming down her face. But those tears weren't for me. They were for my money. Crocodile tears weren't going to soften my heart anymore. This isn't just about being embarrassed. Last night, I was drunk. As my future wife, you didn't take care of me. Eva did. I was buying your sister a bag to thank her and also to show you respect. And what do? You come and start a fight, I accused her sternly. Ava had lost all of her previous arrogance. She clung to my leg, begging, "It's all my fault, honey. I swear, I'll never do it again. I'll take good care of you from now on, and I'll never doubt you again. Please, honey, we've been together for so many years. Can you really bear to leave me? Honey, I'm just scared of losing you. Ever since I found out about your family's buyout money, I've been having nightmares that you'll find another woman. I was so scared of losing you that I lost my mind. I think I might have pre-wedding anxiety. I feel so insecure. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me, honey." Afraid of losing her cash cow, Ava started playing the sympathy card, crying about her supposed true feelings for me. But unfortunately, she had never loved me. Her so-called true feelings were just lies. I cursed her inwardly, but I decided I had pushed it far enough. Breaking things off completely wouldn't work. I still had a big surprise waiting for them. The video of you two fighting spread quickly. My dad just sent me an iMessage. He said you've really disappointed them, that despite your high level of education, your behavior is disgraceful and will bring shame to our family. I can forgive you, but your family needs to show some sincere remorse and make my parents happy. Otherwise, you won't be welcome in our family. Seeing a way out, Ava nodded eagerly. Don't worry, honey. I'll make sure your parents are satisfied. The Miller family really went all out this time. Ava convinced her parents to buy my parents first-class round-trip tickets from their home, book them a suite in a 5-star hotel downtown, and reserve a private room at a high-end restaurant. Ava even rented a town car, with her father acting as the driver, to pick my parents up from the airport, take them to the hotel, and then to the restaurant. Ava didn't let her sister come to this dinner, probably to avoid any more drama. Her dad drank 3 shots as a form of self-punishment, apologizing for not disciplining his daughter properly. Her mother played the sympathy card, talking about how difficult their life had been and how they didn't have time to educate their daughter. Ava went all out, apologizing, repenting, and bringing up all the years of our relationship. Their whole family took turns, their attitude sincere and humble. Her father, getting emotional, even insisted on having the whole family kneel before my parents. "We won't get up until you forgive us," he claimed. Seeing that the time was right, I said a few good words on Ava's behalf. My family and I had already discussed it, so my dad laid out the conditions for the marriage. The dowry would not be reduced by a single penny. However, our family would not be organizing the wedding in Chicago. The Miller family would pay for it. Additionally, they would need to provide a dowry of $200,000. This money would be returned to them later, but they had to make a show of it for now. To reassure them, my dad handed me a debit card with $500,000 on it. "Once everything is settled, this card is yours." Ava's family eagerly agreed. In their eyes, as long as they could lock me down, the current expense was nothing. My parents stayed in Chicago for a few days before heading back, saying they would return for the wedding. I told Ava to prepare the wedding well, to make me look good, and to show everyone that I had found the best wife. Then, I used a business trip as an excuse and left all the wedding preparations to Ava. However, I hired 3 private detectives at a high cost to monitor Ava 24/7. With so many other things trending online, the Ken Thompson incident had died down. I needed to deliver the final blow. The 3 detectives were very diligent, sending me photos or videos they took every day. In the 20 days I pretended to be on a business trip, Ava met with Ken Thompson 4 times. Those 2 adulterous scumbags really had forgotten their lesson. So next time, I'll leave you with wounds that will never heal. Because we said the wedding expenses would be reimbursed, the Miller family spared no expense on the wedding. Ava booked a banquet hall that could accommodate 100 people and hired the best wedding planning company. They decorated the entire hall to be exquisite and luxurious. Using my business trip as an excuse, I didn't contribute any money or effort. I even postponed the wedding photos until after the ceremony. As compensation, I bought Ava a designer wedding gown for her to keep as a memento. To prepare for this wedding, Ava maxed out her credit cards, and her parents took out over $200,000 in loans. In a video call, Ava pouted and whined to me, "Honey, how do the decorations look? Will your parents be satisfied? I've been so exhausted these past few days. You'll have to make it up to me." If this had been before, I would have been incredibly moved. But now I just said, it's fine. On the wedding day, I had a slideshow playing on the big screen, showing off the dowry my family had supposedly prepared. $1 million in cash, luxury cars, jade jewelry, designer bags. But in reality, none of those things were actually there. I told the Miller family that to give them face, my parents would personally bring these items to the wedding ceremony. That way, all their relatives and friends could witness how much our family valued Ava. As for when my parents would arrive, whenever they asked, I just said, soon. These flashy photos might have been tacky, but they were effective. Ava's various aunts and uncles were wide-eyed with amazement, all of them praising her for finding such a good husband. Wearing my custom-tailored suit, I put on a fake smile and dealt with their compliments. Ava saw me and forced a smile. She wasn't very happy. I spotted Ken Thompson sitting at the table with Ava's friends. He was all dressed up, smiling and chatting with them. Ava had some nerve. Wasn't she afraid I would find out about their affair? Or maybe she thought it was more thrilling to have her lover watch her get married right in front of her husband. Fine, I'll give you something even more thrilling. Since we were also having a wedding in my hometown, only a dozen or so of my relatives and friends were present. But in reality, these people were all actors I had hired. Ava was only ever after my money, so she had never actually met any of my relatives. Ava's dad came over and asked, "Where are your parents? Why aren't they here yet?" My dad said there was an unexpected road closure that delayed them. They'll be here soon. Oh, they should have come earlier. We don't want to miss the auspicious time. Don't worry, sir. There's still time. I reassured him. I looked around. Everyone who needed to be here was present. It was time to execute my plan. I led Ava up to the stage, took the microphone, and said, "Dear friends and family, thank you all for coming to celebrate our wedding. To show my gratitude, I prepared a little game. We're going to draw one lucky person from among our guests to receive a 200-gram gold bar engraved with the word fortune. I hope to share our good luck with everyone." The Miller family's relatives were ecstatic. No one expected to have a chance to win a gold bar just for attending a wedding. Ava's family was beaming with pride. The more generous I appeared, the more face they gained. The game was simple. Each seat had a number, and Ava would draw a number from the box. Whoever's number was drawn would win. Ava cheerfully drew a number from the box. Number 48. Who is number 48? I chimed in. Who is number 48? Please come up to the stage to claim your prize. In reality, after I saw Ken Thompson's seat number, I had filled the box with slips that all said 48. Ken stood up, looking puzzled, and I urged him to come up to the stage. Seeing that the winner was Ken Thompson, a flicker of panic crossed Ava's face, but she quickly composed herself. "Oh, it's Professor Thompson. Come on up." Amid the cheers, Ken came up to the stage. At this point, the MC tried to take over, but I waved him away. I went through the formalities of having Ken Thompson introduce himself, and then I presented him with the gold bar, which was in a transparent box. Ken Thompson's grin nearly reached his ears as he looked at the shiny gold bar. "Professor Thompson, I have a special request. Could you say a few words of blessing for us?" I handed the microphone to Ken and then whispered to Ava, "I have a surprise for you coming up." Ava probably thought I was going to give her something even more valuable than the gold bar. She looked at me excitedly. I smiled, walked off the stage, and signaled the staff to play the video I had given them earlier. At first, it was a typical romantic montage. I had edited together moments from my relationship with Ava, set to music. It was my final farewell to the sincere love I had once felt. With the sound of shattering glass, the screen switched to an obscene scene. On the big screen, the video of Ava and Ken Thompson's affair was playing. In the video, they were naked, energetically going at it. You've got guts doing this with your fiancé watching from the photo. Doesn't that make it more exciting? I don't love him at all, but his family has money, and he's willing to spend it on me, so I keep him around. You're the only one I love. Their breathless, disgusting conversation echoed clearly throughout the hall. The hall erupted instantly. The adulterous couple stood dumbfounded on the stage, still processing what was happening. Ava's dad charged up and kicked them both to the ground. "You shameless bitch. You've disgraced our entire family." Ava's mom screamed, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" Ava's dad snapped back to reality and rushed toward me, only to be blocked by my fake relatives. I shouted from behind the crowd, "Your daughter's lover is trying to run off with the gold bar." He turned and saw Ken Thompson trying to flee with the box containing the gold bar. With a roar, he charged at Ken. Fueled by rage, he tackled Ken to the ground. Ken Thompson tried to fight back, but the Miller family's relatives swarmed him, delivering a brutal beating. Some did it out of anger, others wanted to grab the gold bar. Amid the chaos, Ava cried as she tried to protect him. "Stop it! Everyone stop!" Such deep affection. Too bad Ken Thompson wanted to shift the blame. He screamed as he tried to run away. "It's all Ava's fault. She seduced me. She said one man wasn't enough for her. It's your fault for not raising her properly. Why are you hitting me?" Ava froze for a moment, then screamed and joined the fight against him. "Ken Thompson, you're shameless. How dare you lie? You filmed me secretly. I'll sue you. It was a spectacular show. Who needs to watch an action movie?" Amid the chaos, someone kicked Ken Thompson right in the groin. He let out a blood-curdling scream. That scream was music to my ears. I had seen enough. Under the cover of my fake relatives, I slipped away. Ava somehow managed to chase after me, banging on the car window and shouting, "James, why are you doing this to me?" Looking at her tattered wedding dress and her black and blue face, I laughed heartily. "You bitch. This is your karma for trampling on love." The car sped away, leaving Ava collapsed on the ground, wailing. Her figure grew smaller and smaller, and finally, she disappeared from my world entirely. Later, I heard from the actors I hired that Ken Thompson ended up in the hospital with broken bones and internal bleeding. He would most likely never be able to have children again. With such a serious incident, Ava's dad and several of her relatives were taken in by the police for investigation. In the end, they were charged with assault and sent to prison. The hotel also demanded that Ava compensate them for the damages. For the Miller family, it was an astronomical amount. After the story spread, Ava was socially ruined. According to a university announcement, she had been expelled. She deserved it. I had an agency rent out the house, quit my job, and went on a trip around the country. During that time, Ava's mom shamelessly called me, crying and begging me to help them pay off the debts they had incurred for the wedding. After paying the hotel for damages and compensating Ken Thompson, even after selling their house, they were still hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Go find Ken Thompson. Doesn't Ava only love him? Besides, I replied, didn't I leave you that expensive wedding dress and the gold bar as compensation? She was stunned for a moment, then started screaming and crying. James, you're not human. You tricked us with fakes. I had them appraised. They're worthless. I laughed heartily. That's right. Worthless fakes for a gold-digging liar. Isn't that a perfect match?